Hey, what's up, everyone? It's me, your girl, Tiffany Nunnally. I have a question for you today. Have you ever had the yearning desire to do more with your life? Have you ever had that desire that there's something missing, there's something more, there's a next level for you? Maybe you started a new job and it's a great job and you say, hey, it pays the bills and it gives me extra money to do what I want to do, but it's not really aligned with my skill set and my gifts the way I want it to be. I want to be doing more with my time. I want to be making more of an impact in this world. That's your desire to do more. Or maybe you're someone who has been in a job for quite some time and you say, it's time for me to do more. I've been here 5-10 years. I want to explore and see what's new and what's different. I want to do more. I need more. Or maybe you're like my mother. Maybe you experienced a traumatic event or had some type of health issue that has caused you to look at life a little differently. She was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 33. And within 1 year, my mom passed. And towards her final days, she had a conversation with me that I'll never forget. She looked at me and she said, Tiffany, if God allows me to beat this cancer, I'm going to do more with my life. Do more. She actually went on to say, I spent enough time shopping in stores. I love you and your brother, but it's time for me to do more for me. I wasn't created just to work and pay bills. Do more. I need to do more for me. Maybe you're someone who it's just about time that you do more for you. And maybe you're someone who you want to do more and you have no idea of what that is. And so I'm going to share with you 4 ways for you to start doing more, for you to figure that out and get going. So the first thing that I'll say that you need to do is you need to figure out what you want to do. What is it that you want to do? You got to define that. You got to figure that out. So I like to do that by asking questions. So the first question might be, this is like, go to your friends. Don't figure this out on your own, because sometimes it's hard to think about what we want. But I want you to ask your friends, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Your friends could quickly tell you what they feel your strengths and your weaknesses are. Maybe even your spouse. Ask them, what am I good at? What am I not so good at? Another thing that you can do is turn the question back to yourself and say, hey, what do people always come to me for? With me, people always came to me for advice, for counsel of some sort. And so, it aligns up with what I do today. And sometimes you don't even realize that that's your gift. But think about, what do people always come to me for? That's an indicator of what your do more is. Another question you may ask yourself is, what is it that I do now that I would do for free if I didn't get paid for it? I would continue doing that thing because I love it so much. What makes you angry? What current events are happening in the world today that you find yourself extremely passionate about? That might be a sign of your gift, a sign of your talent, a sign of your skill that you might want to develop. So that's the first thing. Define what it is you want to do. And number 2 is exposure. Get exposure to that thing. This may mean joining some type of organization where there are people who are doing exactly that, what you want to do. Or if you can't join an organization, maybe there's a meetup in your area. We have meetups here in Atlanta. Maybe you want to join a meetup so that you can meet up with other artists, other musicians, other bloggers. Get yourself immersed in the environment, in the community of people doing that which you want to do. So, and even if you're working, maybe you can volunteer for a few hours. You got to get exposure. Maybe you need to read books, read articles, immerse yourself for a few days. And even if it's not just in one thing, maybe you spend 90 days in one area that you think you might be interested in and 90 days in another area, immersing yourself into it until you figure out what you like. And the way that you tell if you like it or not is to notice your feelings. Notice your emotions. How does it make you feel? Does it keep you up at night because you're so excited and you have so many ideas running through your head about it? Do you find yourself being more creative than ever before? Do you find yourself talking to people about this all the time? So excited about it? Do you get butterflies in your stomach? Or do you feel dragged about it? Do you feel, if it's something that's not staying with you, maybe it's something you need to stay away from? Let your do more be something great. Let it be a part of your calling. And you can always figure out if it's good for you by tapping into how you feel about it. And then the last thing, but definitely not least, is to gain momentum. It is so important for you to gain momentum. You know, I tell some of my clients that the biggest motivator is achievement. There is nothing like getting out there and winning and feeling great about it. But you can't get to a level of achievement if you're not in action. So you got to get moving. You got to get immersed in some of those things. You got to start asking the questions. You feel it a little bit, get into it. And once you do that, you'll find yourself believing in yourself. You'll be so motivated. You'll believe in yourself like never before. You'll gain this momentum, and you'll keep going because you have momentum, because you have achieved it. So get into action. Action comes before motivation. We got it wrong. We want to be motivated before we get into action, but you actually need to get into action so you can be motivated, so that you can gain momentum. So that's 4 different things to do to help your desire for more. And then I always like to give a resource. This is the book called Strength Finders. And this is a book that you can go out and read. It's by Tom Rath. We've read it in our home, and I challenge you to read it. It'll go over some different strengths, and you can look and pick which one might be best suited for you. So that's all we have for you today. Go ahead and subscribe to Pink Shades of Evolution, and I'll see you again next week.